Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro Fusion.
Right here for the Seagull Cougars, as that one is denied.
Off the front iron, rebound, Diabate. Another chance for Adam, and he hits it.
Trying to threat the needle and he threw it away. Unforced error. Here comes the game. And Oscillion makes up for the mistake.
With the best in local sports talk. Now it's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you got your man, Lobo fan. And if he wasn't your man before, he's your man now. You got a guy, you got your guy. Eric Olin is the new head coach of Lobo men's basketball. We left here Friday, and I think we were all pretty certain that by the time we reconvened on Monday morning, which happens to be the final day of March, the final day of the quarter, which is crazy, that you would have a coach. And you do. It's Eric Olin, the now former head coach at the University of California at San Diego. The Tritons, not the Trojans, is one of the local sportscasters called them last night, JJ. And I'm interested to see where you are on this. And I think mostly positive from what I've garnered from my texts and watching the social media over the weekend. I've told you many times before, just because you might not know about something doesn't mean it's not good. And I know that there probably wasn't a whole lot of, I know about Eric Olin prior to, I don't know, maybe the last week, maybe 2 weeks, but he's your head coach and we're going to learn a lot about him. In fact, we're going to speak with him and have a conversation with him at 9 o'clock. It's the opening drive. Happy Monday, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. How you living?
What it do?
How was the weekend?
Good.
Interesting?
Yes, it was.
Lot of news or almost news or kind of news, or everybody's got a guy who's got a guy who's got a guy who, talked to the guy. And it was one of those weekends, wasn't it?
It was absolutely one of those weekends. And, just all the news we knew it was coming down. What exact day, it was going to be whenever they finally made the announcement. But it really got moving Friday night. I know you sent me the text, and you're like, well, James Spray goes out. I'm like, all right, let's see what's next. That story pops up about Andy Kennedy and Eric Olin, and then people were buzzing back and forth about that. And then Sunday morning, there you go.
Where were you on the Andy Kennedy, Eric Olin thing?
I was leaning Eric Olin.
Were you?
I like just the kind of the X's and O's, the guy that was doing a lot with a little bit less, the transition from D2 to D1. And Kennedy kind of fit the mold of just guy that's coached power conference basketball, might not have been great, but is good. Kind of get a refresher at UNM, but UAB was his alma mater.
Yeah.
And, it's one of the guys on the list that are like, okay, but I was really intrigued about Olin.
Yeah, I was surprised that Andy Kennedy's name surfaced to the top, right? He's been good at UAB. I don't know that anything just jumped at you, went, wow, okay. Guy who coached at Ole Miss, who was a power conference coach, and it was interesting. And there was something about it that, all right, you can win at that level, and if you get him more resources. I got a good buddy who was, they were in each other's weddings, so I know, really talked to him a lot about Andy Kennedy, and just got a good feeling from that perspective. But the Eric Olin thing is interesting. My whole, and we'll talk to him about this. Eric Olin's going to be with us. The plan is at 9 o'clock this morning, so we'll have a conversation with the new Lobo coach at 9 o'clock. But JJ, does it translate, right? Does it translate from the Big West to here? And I kind of got to the point where why not? Like, if you can win there with the resources, and I'm familiar with what UC San Diego has been historically, and not not what they are now. And that's because of this young man, and he's been there for a long, long time. And you listen to what people all around college basketball are saying. And then I started talking to, some of my people in San Diego who know him a lot better than I've never met him. And there wasn't anything close to a disparaging word. Like, people love this guy. And I started thinking, all right, well, I think that's a big part of being the head coach here, right? Getting the fan base to love you. I think the fan base loved Richard, don't you?
It's a huge part.
I think the fan base loved Alford. Even though he was brash, they didn't give a damn. Like, who was he brash with? He was brash with the media, right? He got a beat writer run off the beat. Like, literally went to the head of the Albuquerque Journal and didn't like, and I think the fans enjoyed that. I think they liked that, right? And I think that's a big part of it. And obviously he can X and O. And so the big question now is, will he be able to recruit? What's it going to look like in the immediate? And I think with the NIL that Kurt and 505 Sports Ventures have put together, he should be able to recruit much of his roster back, right? Or some of his roster back, and then go out with some NIL funds and say, all right, let's party in Albuquerque and let's put something together there.
Yeah, and that changed a lot of the conversation when the coaching pool in viable candidates. And because of the NIL game, you don't necessarily have to have a guy that's just connected to X, Y, and Z part of the country or looped in. You know that all these guys somehow, somewhere are going to be able to recruit. They're going to have a staff that knows what the heck they're doing, but it changed everything in terms of name, image, and likeness, a.k.a. your salary for your team. And now you have a guy that was really praised over the last few years for his X's and O's, being able to maximize the talent that he had, and was a guy that this year was a trendy team going into the tournament. They going against Michigan, and they pushed them, and they were close to one of those 12-5 upsets, and now you have a guy that's really done a good job maximizing the schemes and the talent, and then you give him some resources to compete at a higher level in the Mountain West Conference with what the Lobos have been able to do. And I think as a fan base, you should be pretty darn excited about being able to pick up where you left off. It's going to look a lot different because you had pieces that you knew was going to be hard to replace regardless of who the coach was, especially inside with Nelly Jr. Joseph graduating. But the portal combat begins, you're locked in, and what's one of the things I'm interested in talking with Eric Olin about too is just how different it is. Usually, you could probably celebrate just a little bit. You call, you talk with everyone on your side, your players, your coaches, saying, hey, I'm taking this job. And then you start introducing yourself to the new players. Now it's like right when they give you that offer, you got to be, all right, contacting guys in the portal, saying, hey, I'm going to UNM. What do you think?
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of his team to take with him because they were so senior laden. He's got a transfer coming in that maybe he can take with him. Can I make and it might not be apples to apples, but it might not be, it might be grapefruit to orange, right? Both citrusy and sweet and juicy. I started thinking as I was watching the Final Four the Elite Eight this weekend. Todd Golden was at San Francisco, which again, not a UC school and not the Big West. They were in the West Coast Conference, but certainly not a perceived national power. Younger coach who really did a lot with a program that hadn't been doing much and went to Florida. And now he's got him in the Final Four. And I see a lot of similarities. Is that ridiculous?
No.
Okay.
No, it's different expectations based on the resources.
Well, obviously, yeah. The expectation
versus, but again, it's these guys can coach, and now it's all right. The level you get to, what do you have recruiting wise? Definitely a different level of student athlete. I saw a lot of that. Some of the academic challenges you have getting guys into UCSD versus essentially UNM.
Yep.
So could be beneficial.
I did get a text from one of my San Diego buddies. It said La Jolla to Albuquerque, he should be the highest paid coach in the NCAA for making that change. I said, yeah, there'll be a slight lifestyle adjustment. I don't know if he surfs. He's been in San Diego for what, 20-something years. So the surf isn't as good, but we can get him Ralph's surf report on a regular basis.
He can get the surf report.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has plenty of connections. Go back every once in a while.
Yeah.
At least for next year, he gets to make a stop there.
Well, and he'll have enough he's going to have the resources to go back and surf if he needs
Money
to.
a little different. And
Yeah.
higher salary goes a little bit further in Albuquerque than it does in San Diego, I bet.
Yeah. All right. We got a lot for you, and we're here for you. So let's go. What do you think? Eric Olin is your coach. On the James Borrego thing on Friday. And I did believe, and I still do believe, that James Borrego was probably the first choice and front runner. Now, I mean, I'm not, we're not, it doesn't matter. I go back to this all the time. Pete Carroll was like the fourth or fifth choice at USC when he got that job, and kind of was the perfect guy for that USC job at that time, wasn't he? Did a pretty good job. And that happens all the time. James Borrego, from everything I understand, and I watched some of this lunacy on the X, and I keep going back to, just because you don't know about something doesn't mean it wasn't good. Like, people were like, what's the big deal about James Borrego? Just because he's from Albuquerque? Can I remind you, dude was one of like the 3 finalists for the Lakers job.
Yeah, it's, especially with coaching searches, how passionate people get one way or the other is hard, because half the time you do not know any of these guys.
Well, that's right.
And then you start to learn about them. Like, oh, that's an interesting background. So it is funny when you see some of the people that were so negative against Borrego. I thought that was crazy. Like, this is a new era, man. You don't have to have coached in college basketball. You don't need these like gigantic connections every high school or prep school in the country. Like, it's professional style sports, year to year, contracts, agents, etc. And guys at the NBA level know the game, know how to deal with that. And I thought Borrego was a fantastic candidate. And once he pulled out, understand that maybe there was some frustration for other people that were like, oh, what does this mean about the job? Because
Right.
people were sold on him, man. They're like, Albuquerque guy, NBA connections, let's go. We're finally going to have someone that wants to be here. Well, I think the new coach you got definitely wants to be here, because he picked up and left somewhere he was for a long time.
And love. So the James Borrego thing, the stuff I saw, just because he's from Albuquerque doesn't make him a good candidate. Yes. But if that's the only thing you know about him, or the only reason you thought he was a candidate, you're just wrong. And like Kevin Young is at BYU. He left the NBA. Did he do a pretty good job in his first year at BYU?
Not too bad.
Right. And these NBA guys can coach basketball, and players want to go to the NBA. And you get a guy, well, he was crappy. Look at his record in Charlotte, and he got fired. Show me a coach who won in Charlotte, dude. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Give me a coach with a winning record with the Charlotte Hornets. Do you got one? Go ahead. Like he had an opportunity. They know they shouldn't have fired him. They know they regret it. Then he was up for the Laker job, and he's been in the NBA. He was on Popovich's bench for all those years, and he is one of the hottest young coaching names in the NBA. But yet somehow he wasn't good enough for New Mexico in some people's minds. Like here's the deal. James Borrego believes that he's close to getting another head coaching job. And by every indication, he is. And from what I understand is that's the path he wanted to stay. He thought about it. He very much considered this position. And it probably would have knocked him off track if he wants to stay in the NBA and be a head coach in the NBA, coming back to New Mexico. And what if you don't win your first year? You kind of fall down the ladder, right? And there's no guarantee with the roster and with everything going on that anybody's going to come in here in year one and have the success that they all want. And if James is on that NBA path and wants to stay on that path, which he's on an NBA bench, which he's been an NBA head coach, which he was up for, again, the freaking Laker job. I just, those of you who were like, yeah, he just because he's from Albuquerque, he wasn't the guy. Okay, all right, whatever. But I think you got a good one. I do. I think you got a good one in Eric Olin. And let's go. What do you think? 505-246-0610. Eric Olin is scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock. Steve says, fellas, tell our new coach we have tons of beach here, just lacking on the water. Yeah, boy, are we lacking on the water. I want to hear from you. Your thoughts on Eric Olin. We got a Final Four on the men's side. We got 2 of the Final Four on the ladies' side. New Mexico United won again on the road. Isotopes are coming home. They open up at home tomorrow. So, just a ton for you at 505-246-0610. 505-246-0610. Your emails come in this morning, as they always do, at Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com, on the X _JJ Buck. You can watch the program on Xfinity, Channel 26 throughout the state of New Mexico. Adrian's producing on ProView Networks on their YouTube channel and on our Facebook, The OD in the AM. Eric Olin at 9 o'clock this morning. Hey, you're running out of time. April 11th is your deadline to get in on John Thomas Jewelers deal. They're going to Antwerp, Belgium. That is the diamond capital of the world, and they're going to hand select breathtaking diamonds for you. But you've got until April 11th to pre-order and get in on this offer. That is for a limited time through the 11th. You pre-order your Antwerp diamonds starting at just $3,000. John Thomas will give you a free engagement or anniversary upgrade ring. It's at John Thomas Jewelers exclusively. So why Antwerp? What's the deal? Why can't I find it somewhere else? Because 80% of the world's loose diamonds go through Antwerp, Belgium. That's where the finest diamonds are sourced. That means you get unmatched quality and value. So take advantage of John's 35 years of diamond experience. Let them hand pick a bigger, brighter, more beautiful diamond than anything you can find here in New Mexico. There's no mass production. There's no middleman. You just get your perfect diamond at an incredible price. Again, April 11th is the deadline to get in on this. Let them find your 1 in a million diamond. How do you get in on it? Stop by John Thomas Jewelers. Their third floor showroom, 2440 Louisiana Northeast, Suite 310. It's on the third floor of the Lewis University building. You'll go in there and you'll realize right away why they've been voted America's coolest jewelry store. It's John Thomas Jewelers, where Albuquerque gets engaged.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All In Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You got a new basketball coach, Lobo fans. Eric Olin leaves UC San Diego, where he'd been for a lot of years. Ken says, OMG, the most presaged words ever uttered on this award-winning OD show. Here you go. The weather in Albuquerque is great except when you need it, like bowl games and Balloon Fiesta. What have we not had? Like, didn't we have the greatest day ever? Like 60 degrees on December 28th for a bowl game?
Last year was fantastic.
I don't know what more you want, Ken. I mean, I know you want it to be crappy, and I know you root for failure, but it was wonderful. The latest victim, Albuquerque's baseball team, a chilly, damp, breezy, and blustery week is expected at the sports state. All right, whatever. Here's a ray of sunshine. My socks are still on, says Mike. Jeff Alou, when Greg Oden was announced, it didn't blow my socks off. Okay. You want to win the press conference? You want to win games? There's no guarantee that you're going to win games. I understand that. Then I'd ask you, Mike, what would have blown your socks off? I don't know the answer. Do you know what would have blown your socks off if Eric Olin didn't blow your socks off? Okay. Dean says, good morning. I like the hire. However, money can't buy happiness. However, Andy Kennedy, if the Lobos offered $2 million to Patino, I'm curious why the money, if there was a situation or reason for the Olin hire. Well, I don't even know what this says. My question, is there a honeymoon, and how long of a leash does Olin have? Is this a one and done? Okay, there's a lot of, what are you asking me? We don't know how much he's making, right? He says, if the Lobos offered $2 million to Patino, I'm curious why the money, if there was a situation, a reason for Olin.
Do they feel like someone looks at Eric Olin and says, oh, that's a step down because they couldn't get Kennedy to accept the job? I
don't know. Or do you know that they offered Kennedy? Do we know that
we just knew that it came down to these two guys on Saturday?
Do you know? That's the first, if you're insinuating that would be the first time I heard they offered Andy Kennedy and he didn't accept the job. Have you heard that? That's not what you're insinuating, right?
Not what I'm insinuating.
Right. Okay, I've not heard
I think
that.
You're trying to decipher what the heck that
I don't know what the
message
hell
means.
this means.
And I think it means, well, if we had $2 million to give to Patino, how did we not get someone with a name? Just because they coached at a power conference.
And again, who? Like, who did you guys want? Did Andy Kennedy because you knew his name, because you knew who he was? Does that make him a better coach? Maybe in your mind it does. I don't know. Is there a honeymoon? This is a fair question. Is this a one and done? I mean, 1 year and done? No. I don't believe he's here 1 year like Bronco Mendenhall and done. No.
I don't think that. No, I don't think there's a honeymoon period.
No, I don't think that this program you get a honeymoon period.
No. You
Fair.
come in and you got NIL money and
when
your roster's gone, but guess what? Buy a new one.
Your honeymoon period is until you lose your first game.
Yeah. Your honeymoon period is like right now.
Yeah. It's until you lose your first game. And if you lose whatever it is. But that's no surprise. That's where the program is. I'll throw this question at you. So what if you get a Richard Pitino run out of this? If you get 4 years, you're sitting here in 4 years right now, you went to 2 NCAA tournaments, cut down 2 nets, and your coach leaves in 4 years from now. You gonna be satisfied or you gonna be pissed off?
On 3.
All right. 505-246-0610. Chad, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Chad?
Hey, guys. I really like the hire. My understanding is an emphasis on shooters and a transition offense. And, hey, maybe he'll bring some three-point snipers from San Diego to us, which we've never really had.
Maybe.
You know, and we have this. It's like we have all this cap space clear. You know, and you know, if you're looking at it that way, like a professional team, you know, I'm sure we're not paying him as much as we would have paid Patino and his, you know, with his promotion. But so we got some money there, and then of course, you know, don't have to pay a lot of the other guys that left. So I don't know. I'm excited because I think it'll be a little different. I don't know if it's going to be. I'm interested to see how the defense will be.
Yep.
But I like what I hear about the offense, and I hope we keep some of the players that are important to our foundation. I think Cade could be a nice point guard for us.
I agree.
There's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, man. Thank you, Chad. All right, so Chad's in on it at 505-246-0610. I just keep looking back at that email. Like honeymoon period, how long is there a honeymoon period? How long of a leash? I don't know what that means on a leash. I mean, when he loses in November to somebody, it means going to be the guy can't coach. Patino would have done this or what? You're always going to get compared. I'm going to guess he's going to lose a game or two somewhere along the line. And that's just my guess, JJ. They may not go undefeated next year. I don't know, man. You tell me how long of a leash he's got. I'm not sure I understand the other part. And Bundy can't buy happiness. However, Andy Kennedy. So what? It could have bought Andy. I just don't know what you're looking for. Maybe he likes Andy Kennedy better because he knows the name. I'm going to tell you, man. There's part of me. Give me a young and up and coming coach who worked his ass off at UC San Diego, who was the third team in their town, college basketball-wise, right? I mean, it's always been San Diego State. And USD plays the West Coast Conference, and then UCSD, who just joined the Big West a few years back and just transitioned up to Division I and was eligible for the first time ever for the NCAA tournament and made it this year. And he's a two-time coach of the year. And he's kind of built something at a really, really rigorous academic school. And I know this firsthand. JJ, they had 154,000 applicants last year to get into UCSD. 154, and I told you why I know that, right? It is a rigorous, hard school to get into, which means you're winning with athletes that obviously are quite cerebral. I think maybe this opens him up a little bit as far as resource-wise what he can do. And by every account, again, dude, the people who know basketball seem to love this guy's basketball mind and his aura. Remember when did you watch the game against Michigan? And there was the one dude. I remember them saying on the broadcast. Where was the game? Was it in Seattle? Is that where they were? I don't even know where they were. Denver. I think they were in Denver. Wherever. But I remember the broadcast saying, "There's nobody in this city who's happier, having more fun than that guy." And they showed Eric Olin, and he was just sitting there smiling. I'm like, wow, that's so San Diego chill right there, right? He was just like the demeanor. There was something about it. Now, does demeanor win basketball games? Nobody can lose basketball games in some respect. And I told you for 4 years, one of the things I really liked about Richard was his demeanor, how he handled things, didn't get too high, too low. I don't know Eric Olin well to know that that's the way it's going to be. But there's a part of me that says, you know what? You got a young guy who was sought after that has done it in a place literally that it's never been done before. Like nobody's ever seen it before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Right? Nobody ever went at UC San Diego like that. Never had an opportunity. So let's see what he can do here. I don't know. You know, if you wanted Andy Kennedy, who's been around for a while and you knew the name, that's fine. If you were on Borrego, that's cool too. But this is what you got, and I think you got a pretty good one. I think Fernando and that search committee did a pretty good job.
Really intriguing. The transition, that's not easy to go from the D2 to the D1 to be that competitive in the process, and then you are finally eligible to go to the NCAA tournament and you win the conference title, get the automatic bid, go push Michigan to the very end. And what Fernando Lovo has done with his two hires is give guys an opportunity that have won at a different level. Now, this case is D1 to D1 with Eric Olin. But seeing, all right, a step up in resources, a step up in competition, can these guys then excel doing what they did with a little bit less now that you have a little bit more?
Yeah. Utah State lost twice at home this year at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum. I think you know that New Mexico beat them once. Do you know who the other team that beat Utah State in the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum was? Any idea? UC San Diego. Eric Olin went up there and beat him 75-73 back in December. Like that was one of those bye games. Oh, let's bring in a team that will whoop right before Christmas, and take care of things. Well, never mind. Pretty good coach. You got him coming 505-246-0610. If you're on the phone, stay there. I got to hit this break. You're up when we get back. Eric Olin at 9 o'clock. The new Lobo coach will be with us on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Accidents.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
just reading all the transfer portal rumors and stuff, and Magoon Guath, San Diego State, talking to Michigan, Kentucky, considering San Diego State. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. You got a new coach. Eric Olin's your guy. Lobo Basketball will be with us at 9 o'clock. Let's hear what you have to say. Mike, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Don't know much about the coach. I'm looking forward to actually probably YouTubing him and looking at some of his games. But probably my main question is, we're familiar with, I'll start off with, we're familiar with good defense, offense through defense. He coached probably a certain way based on what he can recruit. I'm sure he had to probably work with his limitations with that. If he has a broader stroke of the brush with players, what's his ultimate goal? What kind of games does he like to coach? Is it fast, like the run and gun? Is it more half court? I mean, I think as a Lobo fan, wanting to know, is he going to be high-powered defense, good offense? I mean, if he has shooters, that's going to really help. What kind of players does he like to recruit? I mean, we know what the blueprint is for successful teams. Big, tall, athletic. I mean, is that kind of the player he goes for? I mean, it's just kind of that roundabout questioning.
Yeah.
And I want your guys' thoughts.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Thanks, man. All right, so he was 5 out because he had to be, right? They were not big at UC San Diego. I don't know if that's, when we'll talk about recruiting, do you recruit to a style, or do you adjust style to what you have? And it sounds like I think it's the latter. I think he likes to run, and it's pressure defense.
Yeah, I think that any good coach, you have adaptability based on what you can do. I think you have certain characteristics of what you want, but understanding, especially now a transition into this position, you're going to have to tailor it to your roster.
So defensively, and he just asked, are you a pressure defense? UC San Diego was 8th in the country in forced turnovers per game. They averaged forcing almost 16 turnovers a game. Just for comparison, New Mexico last year was 18th. UC San Diego was 8th. New Mexico was 18th at 15.1, and the Tritons were 15.9. UC San Diego under Eric Olin was second nationally in turnover rate. That meant they forced opponents into turnover on nearly every 4 possessions, almost a quarter, 23.3 possessions. So you'll say, well, they were playing against Long Beach State or UC. Yeah. And they had players of that same level, if that makes any sense. Manny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Manny.
Good morning, guys. Thank you for taking my phone call. I really appreciate that. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Real quick, I think it's a great hire. I think it really is. I'm very impressed with this coach, and I think he's going to do some good things. Who really cares what the Lobo fans think? They're not hiring him. But Jeff, that everybody that calls is a coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, bud.
Yep. A better one than one we got very often.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think the guy last week called and said that Pitino wasn't that good of a coach and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, my God, these guys. But I think it's a great hire. He's going to bring some good talent over here. Hopefully we sustain some guys. And, hey, let's get behind this guy. It seems like he's really eager and motivated, and I'm excited, to be quite honest with you guys.
Right
Up and comer. I love it.
Thanks,
Have a good day, guys.
Appreciate you. I was thinking, JJ, are there comparisons to Richard when he got here? And other than being a young coach, probably not, right? Richard was coming back from the Big Ten. This guy's coming up from the Big West. But as far as energy and demeanor, and I'm looking forward to getting to know Eric Olin a little bit more, I think there's some similarities there.
Yeah, younger coach, right?
Yeah, younger coach, defensive, again.
But it's also 1 year, have a guy coming in off of success. Like NCAA tournament.
Yeah, no, that's right.
2 straight winning seasons. And it was different than, I think a lot of people are looking at it as not a lot, but I think the conversation back and forth over the weekend is, Lobo's just, be the rehab of the big name. I think that's why so many people are like throwing Huggins out there. Just guys you've seen.
People
been there,
were in
done
love
it
with Huggins because
at
they
the
know.
high level, and you come to UNM and you rehab it, but then at the same time, people complaining that no one's going to be here for 15 years, and it's like
the Huggins thing was interesting. And a 71-year-old coach who can coach. I'm not arguing you, but to your point, people who are like, yeah, but he's not going to be here very long. We always lose. Then what were you yelling for Huggins for? Huggins was a great coach. Are you getting that Bob Huggins if you get him now? He was released. There was a lot of controversy around him at West Virginia, and he got that DUI. That was the final straw, right? Was it the name? Was it the notoriety to say, look what we can get here? Is that kind of what people were loving on Bob Huggins for?
Yeah, it's just someone that you've seen it, right?
Yeah.
At the highest level.
All right. This one says home run hire. That's on the text line at 505-246-0610. This one says, Jeff, I'm curious if the prospect of being in a one big league, remade Mountain West, in a year may have scared off Andy Kennedy, who's already in a one bid situation and a league in flux. Olin is a good hire because he knows how to navigate life in a one bid league. JJ, I don't know that had anything to do with it. Again, that makes, that would insinuate that Andy Kennedy was their guy and said no. And I've got nothing that suggests that Andy Kennedy was ever offered the job over Eric Olin. Do you?
No.
Nothing. Alan, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Alan.
Hi. Yeah, my thoughts are more towards the Lobo AD and his philosophy for hiring. Both basketball and football, we had high-profile, name-recognized coaches with nice resumes, and now we have two coaches with less of a name, and I would say less of a resume. So it's really interesting to see the AD's thoughts and philosophies with regards to those hires. And I know nothing about either coach, so I'm just anxious to see what comes of it. Could the AD be a brilliant guy who sees something that the rest of us don't see? Or is there another reason why we went with coaches with less of a name? So it's interesting, and I look forward to both seasons. So thank you.
Thanks, man. I guess we're going to find out in a few years, huh? I mean, we'll know here in a couple of years. Fernando went, obviously, both times with guys coming up, right? Jason Eck was at Idaho, stepped up from FCS to FBS, had success there. Eric Olin at UC San Diego, the Big West. I think even people in the Big West. I saw on Twitter yesterday that UC San Diego is a better job than New Mexico. People in San Diego telling me that. I'm like, okay, I love San Diego. I love La Jolla. But stop. As far as a better basketball head coaching job, please, honestly. Right? But that was the same people here that were saying New Mexico's better than Xavier, right? I guess, it's all your perspective. Obviously he's got a way of doing things. He didn't go you look at UNLV, right? They made two hires, and Eric Harper, their athletic director, went with two big names who have been coaches at big places and were on TV, and he had a way of doing things. And he hired two coaches who were out that wanted to get back in, and that was obviously there was a trend there. What Fernando did here, you'll see. I don't know. We'll find out here in a couple of years if it works. Keep them coming at 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com or JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Eric Olin scheduled to be with us at 9 o'clock, the new head coach of the Lobos. Hey, you're out there. It's going to get this way again this week. The windy chaos that we get around here that is spring in Albuquerque. Protect your car, protect your vehicle. It is one of your biggest investments. Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Invest in protecting your car with the incredible services that they offer. On the Spot Automotive Detailing offers you paint protection film and ceramic coating. You can prevent those nasty scratches, the stains, the fading paint. Call them or just go online at On the Spot, OTSDetailing.com. Awarded best in the city, because they are best in the city. They know what it takes to provide quality care for your vehicle. They detail your vehicle as well, and they do it at your convenience, where it works for you and when it works for you. They come to you. You don't go to them. On the Spot Automotive Detailing, when they're done, your car will look and feel and smell like the day you took it off the lot. It's all online. Book and buy. OTSDetailing.com. That's OTSDetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfasfa.com. That's nmfasfa.org.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows.
All right, you got a coach, Global fan. Let's go. 505-246-0610. Eric Olin is your head coach. He'll be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. 505-246-0610. Dean, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Dean.
Good morning, Jeff, JJ. I'm the guy with the controversial email, so to speak.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I couldn't understand what the hell it meant. All right, so help me. Work with me.
Well, no. What I was, I knew there was $2 million on the table there. Apparently, for Coach Patino there. So my question was, if Kennedy, which I think he's probably making
about 1.2, I think he's
1.1, 1.5 at UAB or something.
Yeah, about 1.2.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe that was an issue there. That was my point. Just kind of thinking, well, maybe on Kennedy's side, thinking, well, you know what, the it's pretty close, the 1.2 to the $2 million as far as annual salary. I like the hire. That I do. I like the Olin deal, and of course I had mentioned the fact that is there a leash or is there a honeymoon? And I think you nailed it by saying we'll see
until his first loss. Yeah.
But anyway, that's it. Just trying to clarify
I get it.
that.
No, appreciate you. No, thank you, Dean. And keep them coming. They're good stuff. I appreciate your emails. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of times my emails come. I live up in a remote area on the ranch, so I have to get them out early to get to you guys. But
appreciate you.
Anyway, just wanted to clarify.
Thanks for doing it. Thanks, man. All right, so that makes sense. I think. Also on the text line. Where to go? Jess, looking at Coach Olin's resume, it speaks volumes to me. Transitioned the program to Division I. Stayed at the same school for many years. Got a lot of production out of less talented, smaller players. I'm excited. Please, can these negative remarks for Coach Olin eventually leave? Steve. All right. I'm trying to find a negative on the data. Is the negative? And there's one dude on Twitter, JJ, that's like, well, yeah, he did it there, but I mean, the Big West isn't the Mountain West. Like just totally, Big West is the worst conference in America, which it isn't, by the way, which it flat out isn't. Well, no, I'm not telling you it's the SEC, but like all of a sudden the superiority complex that Lobo fan has. Well, I mean, it was in the Big West. Can he coach at our level? I mean, come on now, right?
Yeah, I'm not on board with that.
I mean, help me, Bruin James. Good morning, James. How you living?
I'm living pretty good, man. I got my girls are in the Final Four.
UCLA's women.
Good. We Lauren Betts went out for a whole quarter, and my guys, my girls took it, shot some threes, and we maintained a level, and we got Lauren Betts back in the second half, and we looked pretty good, man. I was really impressed. I mean, sometimes when you get in the final, you get these games, your guys, with the shots, they kind of end up short. We were good. We were hitting them. We were looking good. We were playing defense, and we were transitioning, and it was good. I mean, they stepped up,
Yep, and now you're on, James. It's good. And UCLA and South Carolina's women, UCLA with a 72-65 win over LSU, and they're on to their first ever Final Four. Enjoy it, man. It's good to hear you.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah.
And you guys have a good hire. You guys hired a good guy.
Yeah, I think he's a good one. All right, so that was your UCLA Minute brought to you by Bruin James. JD, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
So I'm pretty excited about it. I thought it was a great hire. I think, in retrospect, both of them are great hires, football and basketball, because Fernando's looking at it and saying, this is where we're going to be in 2 years. I can't change that. And these guys have been successful at the level that this conference is going to morph into. And he's saying, you guys go do your thing. You be successful right here and now, and let me work on repositioning us to get to a better conference or realign this conference or whatever it's going to be. And I think that they're both going to be really successful at what they do. And I would rather be 30-5 in a one big lead than 22-13 in a power conference. Guarantee you that. And so I think it's a great hire. And I'm excited for both of them. So I can't wait to go watch football and basketball next year, man. I'm already pumped up.
Beautiful. All right, appreciate you, man.
Thanks, guys.
22-13 in the SEC, you're going to get you in the SEC tournament, though. 30-5 in the Big West, if you don't win your last game of that tournament, might get you put into the CBI or the NIT, right? I mean, ask UC Irvine.
Yep.
UC Irvine had a pretty nice program. They still do. I'll bet UC Irvine's thrilled to see Eric Olin leave. That was kind of UC Irvine's league for a minute, and then here comes UC San Diego. You're like, what the hell? It's an interesting league, man. And did Utah Valley decide they're going into that? I know the WAC was blowing up. It was Utah Valley and Southern Utah were left. Or no, what was Dixie State? What are they now? Utah Tech. Yeah, Utah Tech. But I think Utah Valley's going into that league. All right, keep them coming. We can get into the Final Four, by the way. Florida beat Texas Tech. How about Texas Tech? If there was You know, we always talk about comebacks versus collapses, JJ.
Oh, yeah.
What if I argued with you that Texas Tech was more collapse than Florida comeback? And I love what Florida does.
Yeah,
I do.
Absolutely. The scale, when you have double-digit lead in the second half, double-digit lead 5 minutes to go, saw it again yesterday.
3+ under 4 minutes. Make free throws. I mean, and rebound and maybe guard the perimeter a little bit.
Florida, Clayton just hit some shots.
Florida's terrific. Like, don't get me wrong. I love watching Florida. All these
double-digit lead last 5 minutes, man, that is absolutely going to be more of a collapse than comeback. That's at that point, you're talking like 80-20.
Who looks more invincible, Houston or Duke?
Duke is Duke.
They're really good, man.
Houston, what they did to Tennessee.
I mean, undressed them.
What we saw was women's basketball level defeats where you have two good teams going at it, and you're like, wait, how did this team just win by 20?
Yeah, we got a Final Four. It's Florida, Duke, and then Houston and Auburn.
1 seeds, chalk.
The only time it's ever happened before was the last time. Well, I don't know if it was the last time it was the San Antonio. It was the last one I was at. It was 2008. I was at that Final Four. Good time. All right, keep them coming. Eric Olin, your new basketball coach on the men's side at UNM, is due to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. It's open for you up until then at 505-246-0610. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Thank you for being with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Properties is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, as you learn more, do you feel better? As you read more, do you feel better? I understand that the proof will be in the pudding. I understand that this will be all shaken out next November, January, the following year. Like this is a long-term deal. But just because you don't know about something or someone doesn't mean that it or they are not very good. But as you read all of the glowing, unsolicited responses, whether it be in your social media feed or wherever it is you get your content, and everything you read about Eric Olin is just glowing and unsolicited stuff from people who tend to know college basketball. Does it make you feel a little bit better? It's the opening drive. Good morning to you. Happy Tuesday. No, it's not Tuesday yet. Happy Monday. Tomorrow's April Fool's. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
I'm not listening to anything that involves an arena or a stadium.
Or a coach?
For soccer, for basketball, for pickleball, for anything tomorrow. That's why you got to get this release done Sunday and not April 1st.
It's so true. But as you go through it, for those of you who were on a different train, you wanted, whether it was you wanted James Borrego or Andy Kennedy or whomever it is that you wanted, Bob Huggins, or all the names are out there. So here you are, and it's settled, and you've got your guy, and it's Eric Olin, who had tremendous success at a place that has never had success at that level, never attempted to be at that level. And he did things nobody's ever seen before. It's unlike anybody. Nobody's ever seen it. Everybody said it can't be done. All right. You feel better just reading that stuff? I think you should. And as you learn more, make up your mind. I'm not telling you got to like him. If you don't, you don't. He's your guy. But as you went through the process and all the names, gosh, it was quick, but it seemed like it took forever, didn't it? Like they've already named, they moved their assistant coach up at UC San Diego into the main chair. They moved him over. It felt like, Colorado State acted quickly with Ali Farokhmanesh and moved him up. Some of these jobs, boom, boom, right? Xavier took 2 days to steal Richard Pitino. And this one felt like it lasted for a minute and guys were signing in the portal. But now you got him. Now he goes to work. Now he's
5 days.
4 or 5 days.
Not that many guys were signed.
I agree with you.
Like the portal stuff, I get it. You weren't going to be in contention
for Donovan Dent,
for the dudes that made the move in the first couple of days. Like there's a bajillion dudes in the portal that you can put together a good team.
And you should. And with the NIL that you have at the University of New Mexico, I think you're going to be competitive next year. Now let's see. I say I think, but because I assume that you're going to go out and recruit well. I don't know. Let's see what the roster. I have no idea. I don't know what you're going to look like. San Diego State's going to look like. UNLV. I have no idea. Nor do you, by the way. But as you go through it, do you feel better? Right? As you learned more, do you feel better? Text line. I think Olin is a pretty good hire, but the vibe I'm getting is the ceiling for Lobo basketball is what's been accomplished before. NCAA tournament every 10 or so years, one tournament win every other appearance. I don't think that's the ceiling. And especially, look, if you're looking for a positive in a new conference, I think your program is at a level where you will get good enough non-conference games. Now, not necessarily a bunch of the pit, but you will have the opportunity to get good enough non-conference games to build a out-of-conference resume, much like you did this year. Now, maybe Daddy won't invite you to go play at Madison Square Garden, but maybe Brian Dutcher will have you back at Viejas when you're not in the same league. Or you could go play a Gonzaga or a St. Mary's or, Arizona State's. But I believe your program is in a good enough place where you are going to have opportunities non-conference on a regular basis. I believe that UNLV, I do believe this, UNLV, Nevada, and Grand Canyon are going to up their profile in men's basketball so that there should be, JJ, and you tell me if you think I'm way off here. After next year, if everything stays on track with the new look Mountain West, I believe there will be 4 regularly good programs in that league. I believe it'll be New Mexico. I do believe UNLV is going to get better. Grand Canyon and Nevada. And then you'll have a year from a UTEP or you'll have a year from a San Jose State or something.
3 to 4 is fair every year.
All right. Now,
I don't trust Nevada as much moving forward. But.
Okay. I look at Nevada's history, and Nevada has done what they can, not what they need to do, but what they can in regards to basketball. That is a proud basketball program. And from Mark Fox to...
Yeah, but history doesn't help you as much as it used to.
I agree, but I think that they're going to find...
I'm interested to see what happens when they get the new digs.
When they move into their new arena.
On track and just some of the buzz. And
well, that usually tends to attract. So I look at it, if there's a positive, and this guy said, your ceiling is get to the tournament twice a decade and win a game once a decade. And I think it's higher. I think you're going to have an opportunity in that league to run up a record, and I think there's going to be enough opportunity non-conference that it's going to put you, in the years that you're good, in the years that you're able to beat teams in November and December, then you're going to have an opportunity. We'll see. Travis, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Travis.
Good morning, fellas.
What's good?
Exciting weekend. Good weekend. Good stuff. I'm glad we finally got the news out about Coach Olin. Listen, I have been listening to you guys since I was in college, which was a really long time ago, and but every single time we go through a coach search and a coach hire, like with Lobo fans, it's Groundhog Day. Like you see the same stuff time after time, the coach wasn't really that good anyway. I mean, that's like a guy who's dating Beyonce. Beyonce breaks up with him and it's like, dude, nobody even knew who she was. She's not even that hot. Like, Pitino was a good coach, and I don't know what it is about Lobo fans thinking or, Steve Alford, the way Lobo fans reacted to Steve Alford leaving. Like, what is the point of tearing these guys down when they leave instead of just acknowledging and celebrating the contribution that they made to our program? Like, this was one of the hottest jobs in the country because of what Pitino was able to do. So just, take your hat off to the guy and don't trash him on the way out. And another sort of very cliche Lobo response is like, we don't want mercenaries. We don't want a guy that's only going to be here for, 3 or 4 years. We want a guy that's going to be here 20 years. Well, listen, that guy was Coach Olin. He was in that community at UC San Diego for 20 years, built that program, and we stole that guy. Like, I don't want a guy that's going to be around for 20 years. I want a guy with some ambition. What I want is Coach Olin in 4 years to be coaching at Duke, because that means that he would have had a lot of success in the way that he would have coached this program. So the goal should not be to like keep a guy, chained to the program like some union worker waiting for his pension. No, what we want is like a guy who's ambitious, who's going to absolutely kill it. And in 3-4 years, someone like Duke or Nova or Xavier or any of the big-time Big East college programs are saying, you know what? We want that guy. And that the only way that happens is if that guy has a lot of success. So give me a guy who wants to only stay here for 4 years, but absolutely knock it out of the park and win us championships. And maybe for the first time in our program history, get the all-elusive Sweet 16 berth. Have a good day, guys.
Later. Fine with that, man. Again, I'll ask you the question now. We can re-rack this thing when we're doing this in 4 years from now, on our 21st anniversary or 20th anniversary, whatever it is. If he gives you a Pitino-like run, if you're good for 4 years, you get to 2 NCAA tournaments, cut down 2 nets. You good? And then he goes somewhere. You good? Like he was at UC San Diego for 21 years, whatever the number was. Not all of them as head coach, but like 12 of them as head coach. You good if that's it? That means you're in a good place. You continue to win. You're killing it. I think the answer is probably yes until you get there. Right? Until you get there.
Until you have to deal with it again.
Right. But I think you're good. All right, 505-246-0610. I got a text from Larry. It says, shaking my head with Lobo Nation's armchair or social media ADs. I personally trust AD Lobo in his decisions to hire another proven winner. Olin's resume speaks for itself. Retread big names don't wow me. Wins are what filled the pit these past few years. Lobo's been part of Power 4 athletic departments. Trust him. We have 2 head coaches of key sports who will bring winning mindset to Albuquerque and will be hungry to succeed. I'll take that. Go Lobos. There's something to that too. I think every coach is hungry. Okay, don't get me wrong. Whether it would have been a 71-year-old Bob Huggins coming back to prove something that he could still coach, I believe he'd be hungry. And I 40. What is Eric Olin? 44? Is that what you told me? A 44-year-old young coach who has something to prove that he can win at this level, that built something there. And Andy Kennedy would have been hungry too, and Richard Pitino was hungry, and James Borrego. Like, all coaches are hungry. But I think is there a little difference from a guy who has to prove at there's always a question, right? When you move up, and I believe Big West to the Mountain West is up, no matter what people in San Diego are telling you that, UC San Diego's a better job. Okay.
People are only taking really into account the scenery when they think about better job. Like, to get someone to leave a place after 20 years, they have to believe it's not just a financial step up, but a step up in competition.
And position, right? And opportunity. And, further yourself.
And to take into account that he knows what this league is going to look like in 2 years. And he said yes to that.
Yeah, and we'll ask him about that. I mean, understanding, and I think one of the questions we'll ask him is, Richard on the way out, not even just on the way out, was really concerned about the way the Mountain West will be constructed in 2 years, after next year. You know what you're getting into. Your thoughts on it, right? I think that's fair. All right, keep them coming at 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on the Final Four, you can. United's victory over the weekend, 1-0, another clean sheet for Alex Tambakis. They are 3-1 after winning 1-0 in Miami. Topes get home opener tomorrow night. You get beanies. That's the home opener.
Forrest bouncing around. I think he's coming in next.
Is he coming in here? All right, so we'll do that as well. Ask him what his favorite food is at the ballpark or something. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505 895-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, baseball's underway as well. I mean, it's not all about. I mean, man, you're right. It is. When's Eric Olin throwing out the first pitch at the Isotopes? It's Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, opening drive. Forrest is in from the Isotopes because the home opener is tomorrow. What's up, dude? Happy baseball season.
Yeah, that's right, man. We're already off and running right now. 3 games in.
1-2 on the weekend.
1-2 record.
You got to utilize the Sacramento A's, the Oakland. What the hell do we call the A's? The Athletics.
The Athletics, and that's it.
They're just Athletics.
Just
like
the Athletics.
I saw it on the thing. It was like LAD and COL for Colorado and LAA for Angels and ATH. Like there's no they're just the Athletics now.
Yep. There's no city or state associated with them.
How does Sacramento feel about that?
They're probably feeling kind of slighted, be my guess.
Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
It's nice of them to let you use their stadium last week.
Yeah, and it was cool to be the first ones to be on that field for the 2025 season against the River Cats, and so we're kind of breaking it in for them. I can't believe they're playing on grass. Like, that grass is going to get torn apart over the
dry, hot summer in Sacramento, and they have dry, hot summers.
Oh, no doubt.
It's all right. So you started out 1-2. You're not in last place, though.
No, we're not. Yeah, we got a really exciting,
what I was gonna bust you.
Really exciting team, I think, this year. We got 9 of the Rockies' top 30 prospects on the squad, highlighted by Chase Dolander, who got the start yesterday. 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, pitched phenomenally well. Only allowed 1 run in his AAA debut. Looked very sharp. He's going to be a fun guy to watch for fans this year in Albuquerque.
All right. So what do you think of the new Lobo coach?
Yeah, I mean, really excited for the Lobos, right? Yeah, I mean,
when's Eric Olin throwing out the first pitch?
I'm sure it'll be soon. That's for sure.
Did you, JJ? Did you know you and I are throwing out the first pitch in like September?
Really?
I got it. Did you know this?
I knew there was a possibility of it. I didn't know it had been finalized.
Yeah,
yet.
I got an email.
Forrest is like, slow your roll, bro.
No, I got it. Like, hey, how do you guys feel about throwing out the first pitch in like September or something? I'm like, I'm sure.
Gives me a lot of time to build up my arm strength.
Yeah, you're going to need it. I guess probably Jeff might need it more than you, JJ.
Like,
so
let's go right now. I go right now with you, and say that without throwing warm ups. Who could throw?
Really?
I mean, could you throw a pitch like 60 feet?
Oh yeah, I did it on Friday.
As could I.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was throwing 65, 70 in there.
Well, I might not go 65, 70, and I'll challenge you whether or not you can go out right now and throw 65, 70 and throw a strike.
Come on down and ask Thomas Gallegos. Right. Yeah, he's my witness.
I did get in the cage recently. I was at the Louisville Sluggers.
Jamie Moyer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm
That's
just going to be a jump star. That is good. Yeah, Greg Maddox. I was in the cage at Louisville Slugger in Louisville a couple weeks ago. Took 10 rips.
Yeah.
I missed the first one. I wasn't ready for.
Did you get a couple barrels?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I mean, I just,
Use one of those torpedo bats?
You get to pick your bat, dude. So it's like you say, I want Ken Griffey's bat, or there's a menu. And you
That's sick.
And it says how, what 34, 32 or whatever they are. I want Cal Ripken's back. Or I want, Will Smith's bat. And then you get a bat and it's $2 for 10 pitches. And you get in line and you get in there and get a few rips.
That's a great idea to have the different models from your favorite players available.
Another one, I got to hold Babe Ruth's bat, like a Babe.
Wow.
Dude, it was 42
It weighed as much as we do, right?
42-ounce bat that dude swung.
Yeah, I mean, that is some strength, to say the least. My gosh.
All right, what do we got? We got opening night beating. There's Dylan on my website. I open up the website, and there's Dylan.
Big old picture.
That's right. You can come out and you can get an Orbit beating courtesy of Godsend Physical Medicine.
First
2,500 fans in Albuquerque.
That's pretty good. We might need to hire you.
It used to be better. All right, what else we got this week?
Yeah, on Thursday, we got our first day game of the year at 12 o'clock, noon. So come on down, play a little hooky from work. You won't tell your boss. Friday, we got our magnet schedule giveaway. Saturday's our first mariachi game of the season. All the typical mariachi fare. We're going to be giving out 3,000 adult
typical about that.
mariachi ponchos. I guess that's fair. Yeah, we're going to be all the normal pomp and circumstance for all the mariachi games we normally do, right? Then on Sunday, our Bark in the Park. Bring your pup down to the yard. We're going to have our dog parade starting at 1 o'clock on the field. So if you want to come show off your canine, Sunday's a great way to do it. It should be nice weather on Sunday, a little cloudy, so not too hot for your pup.
Salt Lake is the opponent, correct?
Yes. Salt Lake will be playing them. Home opener is tomorrow, Tuesday at 6:35 p.m.
All right, so how much we got?
Do a kite giveaway.
What do we got? Kite giveaway? Is it going to be a little breezy tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be a little windy apparently.
Wind blowing in or out?
Hopefully it's out. We want to see some offense.
I'm going to guess pitchers aren't saying hopefully.
Oh no, yeah, but for entertainment's sake, we want that thing to be blown out.
I love the way you utilize your staff on like there's Piper as the model for the ponchos, and there's Dylan as the model for the beanies. What are you the model for?
I've only been a model for a couple of things,
Only a couple.
Yeah.
I've only got a couple model credits.
Yeah,
like what?
I think a couple of hats for the past years, a shirt, a Jackie Robinson T-shirt. I think so.
The beanie's kind of cool.
The beanie is awesome. Yeah, it's got a great orbit's face right above your forehead, right there. It's got some little fluffy things to it.
Little fluffy things.
Yeah, I mean,
little tassels coming down the side.
Tassels. There you go. Yeah, tassels. Thank you for
the poncho. Looks cool. Have you seen the poncho, JJ? So the mariachi poncho. Well, I mean, Piper makes it look good, but
multicolored, right?
Yeah,
it
there's
pops.
some pinks and some oranges and some greens and some blues. It does pop. All right, so you got all kinds of stuff. Have you found a favorite cuisine of Chef's new cuisine?
Yeah, I think that ballpark sandwich is my go-to, man. Like
You missed that one.
I think it is just absolutely phenomenal.
Well, you missed that one, right? The eat day.
Yeah, they did not check with my schedule, so I was not
What's
able to.
wrong with you guys?
Damn.
How
I
do you
knew I
not
missed.
make
I knew
sure
I
he's
missed
not there?
something.
I mean,
how dare they?
I should have brought him back a Sunday.
That'd have been nice, right? Yeah.
Here's
just a
Sunday-
little.
Here's some soup.
Been a
take
milkshake,
it.
but
Yeah, you can throw it in the freezer. I'm out of reformed. I don't know.
It's good. Hey, also, students grades K through 12, you're
Yeah.
encouraged to write an essay or create a piece of art celebrating the life of Jackie Robinson. It's the Jackie Robinson Night Art and Essay Project, which is going to be, so here's the deal. Students who submit the projects are going to earn 4 reserve level tickets for the game on April 15th, first of all, tax day. But this is a big deal that you guys are doing to get the kids involved and to celebrate Jackie.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, our Jackie Robinson Night is on April 15th, and obviously, any way we can help elevate Jackie Robinson's legacy and help pass on his legacy to the next generation, to understand the impact he had not on only culture on the field but off the field as well. More importantly, we're going to try to, help that next generation to understand his impact, and we're excited to be a part of this and offer this opportunity for the fans and kids out there.
Right. How's the new gear selling, by the way?
Oh, just flying off the shelves. That Duke City stuff, my goodness, we can't keep it on. The jersey and the hats, they're some of the best ones we're going to have all
How many
year.
logos? Are you wearing a logo on that polo shirt underneath too?
No.
There's only 2 logos right now?
Just 2 logos, yeah. Just 2.
You got the hat.
Isotopes hat and Isotopes, pull over, yeah.
All right. Tickets are available. abqisotopes.com
Yes,
for
sir.
all the games, the home opener. It is tomorrow. It is 6:35. The Salt Lake Bees are in town. You got Beanie Night Wednesday, 6:35. Lunch at the ballpark on Thursday at noon 05. Friday, 6:35. And then the mariachis on Saturday.
That's right, yep. Poncho
and
giveaway
then
as
Sunday,
well.
Bark in the Park.
1:35 on Sunday.
Bring
yep.
your woofie. What's the rules on bringing the woofies?
You just got to sign a waiver, saying that they're all up to date on their shots and that you take responsibility.
Do you have to clean up their crap when they poop on the outfield?
I mean, that would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be nice?
But we do.
But you guys
a lot
have
of the
poop?
time. Oh yeah, occasionally. Yeah, mainly it stays on the on the dirt, but it happens.
JJ,
what are you gonna do?
Colorado State's got Cam the Ram, like they've got a live ram.
Oh yeah.
And when I was at the guy, I got a picture because there's a dude literally who follows him with a scooper. Like I have to follow.
you got to clean
Cam
up your mess.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
Keep the integrity of the field, right?
All right, all the all the Isotopes games right here on the Sports Animal, including tomorrow night, 6:35. Josh Sushan will have the call from Isotopes Park. It is the Isotopes and the Salt Lake Bees. It is always good to see you. He is Forrest. He is the director of hype over at Albuquerque. Is that your title?
Yeah, sure.
What's
we'll
your
go with
title?
that. Manager of Public Relations.
Director of hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot better.
I mean, whichever one you like. Whichever one's a promotion comes with a bigger paycheck.
I got to get new business cards.
Whatever. I'm sure that's in the budget too. Have fun this week.
Yes, sir, we will. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, JJ.
Opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Lobo coach Eric Olin will be with us coming up at 9 o'clock.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro V. From pros to prep, find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Blue Bell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Education.
Of the Pistons and Mavericks. Skirmish? Give me the word. Brawl? I don't know if it's a brawl. Skirmish, tussle. What was it? What happened? Is it a skirmish? What? Give me the word. Pistons and Mavericks yesterday.
A whole lot of nothing.
There's a little something to it.
It's a bunch of bear hugs and nothing else.
I mean, it is.
They're
right.
like, it is ejection. Yeah, they had a bunch of dudes just pile on each other.
I mean, Dante DiVincenzo came in pretty hot, though, didn't he? Like, he started pushing.
There's a lot of hold me back, bro, going on.
Yeah, he was in pushing. And then it was the hold me back, bro. And it'll be interesting to see suspensions on this. I got something on the text line. Said, wanted your guys' thoughts on the T-Wolves Piston fights. With a few games left in playoffs near, what would they do with suspensions? Probably, I mean, they could either hit you all at once or they could spread them out, I imagine. Not sure what they're going to do, to be honest with you. Back at it, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Francisco, you're on the Sports Animal. Good morning, sir. How you living?
Doing good, real good.
two quick things. Was Toppin hurt yesterday? Because he had the worst game
2 days
I've ever
ago.
seen.
No, he wasn't.
He cost them that game, man.
Well, I mean, he was
was
certainly affected by the bigs. That's Florida's bigs.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's going to have to start learning how to do a jump shot. He's going to have to learn a jump shot if he wants to play in the NBA. Anyway, so let's move on to the Lobo coaching, which I'm very excited for. I think the Lobos are actually going to end up better with this gentleman. And that's no shot at Patino because he's an awesome coach.
Sure.
He brought the program up to where it needs to be. Now this guy has to continue it and keep it there. But I think his potential is great. I mean, he's 44 years old.
Yep.
Been a head coach for 12 years.
Yep.
He knows the game. He's an intelligent coach, and he's a likable guy.
Seems to
be. It's up to Lobo fans. We need to donate money to the 505 venture. We need to support the team. And that's what's really going to, let's just face it, you can pay for players now. That's what this is.
You better pay for players. Yeah, you better pay for them.
Yeah, so let's get the money. Let's get the support. Let's throw behind this coach and let's keep the program rocking and rolling. I feel really good about it. I mean, I think we kind of stole this guy. If you think about it, I mean, he's been on a lot of radars for a long time, and he just finally decided to leave. It was his time. That's just timing, right? We got Coach Patino. He got fired. He learned a lot at Minnesota. He came over here, implemented what he learned, and now this guy is going to do the same thing. So,
thanks, Francisco. Appreciate you.
Right on.
Yeah. All right. So he's in, and I think that's where most people are. I think the more you learn about him, if you were trepidatious, if there was some angst to the hire because you didn't know who Eric Olin was or much about him, I think you're starting to feel better. Maybe you'll feel better when you hear from him. We're going to have a conversation with him coming up here in about 23 minutes. Is that right? Yeah, 23 minutes at 9 o'clock this morning. So maybe you'll feel better about all of that. This says, I think the Olin hire is pretty good, but the vibe I'm getting is, I already read you that one. Correction, Travis. This one says, Patino was an okay coach and a great recruiter. I like the new hire from an X&O standpoint. The area where we will hurt is not having the Patino branding, which attracts players, but excited to see what happens. Go Lobos. Okay. Did the Patino brand attract players? Maybe. I mean, Patino had I'll give you the Jamal Mashburn thing, right? And Jamal Mashburn, as much as you may not think he was great, he was as good for this program as anybody's ever been because he and it went down to his dad's relationship with Rick Sr. But Jamal Jr. coming from Minnesota to Albuquerque, I do believe played a big part in attracting Jalen House. And Jamal and Jalen were vital for this program. That was the transition, right? That made this team viable right from the beginning. So does this guy have that? I don't know. We'll see. Good hire, this one says. He will be a great coach. Any word on who he's bringing with him from UCSD? Any word on True? There aren't a lot of players to bring from UC San Diego, JJ. Right? That was a senior-laden team, correct? So who do you attract? Can you keep True here? We'll see. This one says, it seems the Lobo fan is reacting with less pitchforks and torches than we were with Alfred's departure. Thank you, Coach Patino, for the success and restoring the recognition and credibility to pull a successor like Coach Olin. Looking forward to what the former Triton can do in Lobo Nation. I think you all are. All right, 505-246-0610. I kind of like where people are with this. It's, I'm learning about it. All right, let me see. Everybody seems to like the hire. I want to like it. I want it to be good. So let's go. Seems to be where people are. Now go out and recruit. The staff's going to be interesting. What kind of staff he puts together too, right?
Yes. Excited to see what he has in store. And again, when this was coming down over the weekend, you had the Borrego news hit Friday, and then figured out it was down to Kennedy and Olin. I was excited to see, Olin got the job and to see what he can do, because there's a big push that he's a really good X's and O's guy, schematically getting a lot out of his players. And now for him, this is a step up in competition overall and in resources to see what he can build.
Yeah. All right. He's going to be with us coming up in 20 minutes at 9 o'clock, 505-246-0610. If you want to get in on that, you can get in on the Final Four. We're open for business today. It's the opening drive. He is J.J. Buck, and I'm Jeff Symbieta, 505-246-0610. And that's how you can get here. Twin Peaks is your place to go on Tuesdays. Well, pretty much every day, but Twin Peaks is offering a BOGO deal on Tuesdays. Buy 6 bone-in wings, get 6 more free. You can choose from a variety of sauces, including their delicious smoky sweet barbecue, or if you like the spice, try the pineapple habanero. Pair that with a nice brew. You got yourself an enjoyable Tuesday, so head on over to Twin Peaks this Tuesday. Take advantage of their buy one, get one special before it's gone. And, of course, all the hoops is there. So is the golf. The Masters is coming up. If you can't make it to Augusta, golf's first major will be on wall-to-wall on the TVs at Twin Peaks, April 10th through the 13th. They're going to have Tito's Transfusion cocktails, only $8.50, and you can catch the Masters, all of it, right there at Twin Peaks. And get ready for the NBA playoffs. That starts April 19th. Twin Peaks is the best place for all things hoops. So head on down to Twin Peaks, catch all the NBA playoff and the Final Four while you can, and enjoy the delicious food and drinks and the scenery.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore, just like riding a bicycle. I can pick up the fight, from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and...
Colts and the Panthers. He's got a job. Stanford hired Frank Reich as their interim football coach for 2025. Of course, the general manager at Stanford is Andrew Luck. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. Eric Olin, the head coach of Global Basketball, scheduled to be with us coming up in 12 minutes at 9 o'clock. Here on The Sports Animal, 505-246-0610. Ted, thanks for holding. You're on The Sports Animal. Hello, Ted.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
Welcome to Coach O to New Mexico. I think what's interesting to hear all these fans talk about the fact that, you know, by losing Patino, we're losing an edge. And I kind of disagree. Being out here on the East Coast and watching what's going on and then looking back in time to you guys back in the West Coast, if Coach O has been able to attract top talent to a program that has not the facilities that New Mexico has or the rabid fan base, I can only imagine what he'll be able to do when he steps in the pit and starts bringing in players. And I truly don't think that True Washington is really plays into the mindset and the game set that he plays, but a Brandon Applehouse does, and a couple other players that are remaining do. You know, a lot of people also talk about, you know, with the Mountain West disbanding next year and having that lesser conference, look at a conference like the WCC this year You had St. Mary's and Gonzaga. They've always been 1-2 or 2-1, and really no one else underneath them. Sometimes you throw in a San Francisco or a Loyola Marymount or something like that. But this year, you had Oregon State and Washington State who are going to start the new Pac-12 with all these other teams, and they finished 5th and 6th in the WCC. So I truly think that the WAC or the Mountain West, whatever you want to call this, is going to remain the same. And if it's one big bid league going forward, Jeff, who cares if it's New Mexico?
Well, I think, and Ted, thanks for the call. I think people care if it's a one bid league because let's be honest. What the Mountain West has become as a multi bid league has been exciting, has been relevant. I think people care, and you don't want to be. Nobody wants us to be like, who cares? I think everybody in the league cares. I don't know that it's going to be a one bid league. I don't think it's going to be a 4-bid league. But I don't know that I believe the Pac's going to be a 4-bid league either, JJ.
Not. I think it has a
better potential to be a multi-bid
league. But again, it's what you do overall.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's Gonzaga and it's San Diego State anchoring it. And then does Washington State, Oregon State, Colorado State, Boise State, do they maintain? Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy.
Good morning. You know, one of the advantages of being single and being able to watch whatever I want to watch on TV without arguing with a significant other is I watched a tremendous amount of college basketball this year. Specifically, watched at least 3 games with Olin coaching California, San Diego. And this is exactly what Lobo basketball was built on. Anybody who watched the Bob King or Norm Ellenberger, it was intense defense, turning teams over, high energy offense, share the ball, multiple pick and rolls, not just 2 guys. And I think that's what Olin brings. And he's a really good coach. 30-5, I don't care who you're playing. You win 30 games in a season, you're coaching, and you're coaching players. And at a low-resource school like UC San Diego, for him to accomplish that, that's the guy that I kind of focused on, too. I don't know if Borrego really wanted the job or just wanted to see what we had to offer. I really think his cap is set on that San Antonio Spurs job, and I'd like to see James Borrego get that. I think he deserves it. So everybody gets what they want out of this. Pitino gets to go where he wants to go. We get a coach that's a proven winner and has demonstrated exceptional loyalty. Who knows how long he'll stay? Maybe Travis, he'll stay 8 to 10 years and really establish and build something here. Maybe he'll be a Mark Few. We don't know. But one thing I do know is as long as you have the Pit and the fan base that we have, we're going to get good coaches, and so everybody needs to go all in on this guy and support him like we supported Pitino. I think we do that. People are going to be very, very happy with Coach Olin here at New Mexico.
It's good, man. Thank you. I don't know how long he's going to be here either. I know he was there for a long time. Wow, Jeff, I'm in San Diego. Who wants to leave La Jolla? I got that. I get it.
Who wants to? The guy that just did.
Look, I remember the day I rolled out of San Diego, too. I was like, whoa, what am I doing? Where am I? Like, honestly, there's a whole world out there. And he's got an opportunity with a rabid fan base and resources.
Ain't nothing out there but rocks.
Heard that, too. I mean, I heard that as well. All right, keep them coming at 505-246-0610. Jeff and JJ, any chance you can get Lovo for an interview? I can only imagine how nerve-wracking this search had to have been for a first-time AD. It's from Ronnie. Yeah, I'm working on that, too. And I'd like to do that sometime this week. This one says, Pitino recruited 4 stars. Olin pulls D2, NAIA walk-ons for the most part. No one on his staff has ever worked D1 basketball. Well, he just did for the last couple of years. Hoping he'll be able to recruit reputable D1 assistants to his Lobo staff. Hopefully I'm totally off base, but I'm getting D2 McKay vibes. Olin, please prove me wrong. Lobo has gambled, and I hope he doesn't come up craps. So there's the does it translate?
Well, it's also
question.
You're not thinking in the new era mindset. You're thinking of just the way things were.
meaning without the NIL.
Pitino wasn't just recruiting 4 stars because he was Richard Pitino. It's because he could go to these guys and go, oh, we have a collective that is also offering this. And that's what Olin has behind him. It's not just, I've never talked to a 4-star recruit before, which I'm going to believe is false.
This guy continued. He said, Bob King's Lobos were built on great bigs. And there weren't, you see, San Diego didn't have bigs. Okay, but they're...
Okay, that doesn't mean he's not going to recruit a great big or a good big to the University of New Mexico.
Yeah. No, so this guy's out on Olin because he hasn't done it at this level, which I've heard a number of people say. Will it translate, essentially? Time will tell. I don't know the answer. I'm not going to sit here and promise you anything. 505-246-0610. Eric Olin's due to be with us coming up in about 4 minutes. And we'll talk to the new Lobo head basketball coach and just kind of his thoughts, who he is and why and how, and does he surf? Where does he go? Does he go like to Tourmaline, or does he go to Sunset Cliffs or Blacks? I'm kind of curious. We can still get him a surf report every morning. I'm just not sure we can get him out in the water if in fact he surfs. I don't know that he does. Eric Olin, your new Lobo basketball coach, next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Sports Animal. Now is the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Here's Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Well, you got your coach yesterday, Lobo fan. It was a tense few days, probably a week, and understandably so with this rabid fan base and what Lobo basketball means to you and to this community. But by every indication, you hit a home run higher with Eric Olin being named the head coach of Lobo basketball yesterday. The now former head coach at UC San Diego is the head coach at the University of New Mexico after being the Big West Coach of the Year for the last 2 years and taking the Tritons to the NCAA tournament. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Get back to your phone calls in just a little bit. But want to welcome to Albuquerque and to New Mexico the new head basketball coach at the University of New Mexico, Eric Olin, joins us on the Sports Animal. Good morning, Eric. Congratulations. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate you taking some time, and I know it's been a whirlwind. When did New Mexico kind of jump onto your radar? Because I don't know if you were looking to leave La Jolla and San Diego, because very few people look to get out of there. But were you looking for something? How did this all come about for you?
Yeah. No, I mean, New Mexico, obviously the historic program on the West Coast, and I've seen the kind of teams that they've had, and so. I think it wasn't necessarily a huge secret in college basketball that Coach Pitino was going to have some interest elsewhere and that it was a possibility. So for me, as our season was progressing and some of the interest picked up in terms of my potential options, this is one that I sort of had on my radar as if something changed, that I would have a lot of interest, and it just sort of played out that way. And the interest is mutual, and talking with Fernando Lobo and the leadership at New Mexico, it made a lot of sense. And fortunately, everything lined up to the way it worked out, and. Yeah, we're really fired up to be here.
Yeah, when you know something about a program from the outside, right? I guess you know reputation, but then as you started to ask questions, what more did you learn about the program that made you excited and said, yeah, no, this is something I want to do?
Yeah, I think a lot of it was just kind of honestly hearing about the passion of the fan base. I mean, you see it on TV. I mean, everyone knows about the Pit, but I think the more you dig into it and the more you feel how it's not just a game day, it's every day in the community and throughout the state. I think that's something everyone's looking for everywhere. Everyone's begging for ownership in their program. Everyone's begging for fan support, and that exists, in spades here. And like you said, I was at UC San Diego for a very long time. Over 2 decades there as an assistant and a head coach, and so it wasn't something where I've been, trying to get out or looking for the next thing. It was more about, it would take a really special place for me to leave, and I certainly found one.
Eric Olin is the new head coach of Lobo men's basketball. So what in the immediate, right? Everything's moving. The portal's open. You got to hire a staff. You got to find a place to live. Everything probably is spinning. Your work list, your checkoff list. What does it look like? Is it staff first? Is it recruiting first? Where do you go in the first few days?
Yeah, the to-do list is something I am working on constantly, but just keeps getting longer. So it's kind of swimming upstream a little bit, but no, it's both those things at the same time, right? We're actively looking to fill the staff, trying to make progress towards putting a team together. I think those are happening congruently. I'm having those conversations both with players and coaches and just trying to get the right people into the locker room. I'm a big believer in winning with people, and if you get the right people in the locker room who share the same values and think about things the same way, care about the team and care about winning and have a mature approach to it all, then, if you get people in the locker room with that same mindset, then special things come from that, right? So it starts with getting the right people, and we're going to work as quickly as we can, but we're also going to make good decisions and make sure that we have people who really understand how important Lobo basketball is, want to be a part of it, and want to do things the right way. So we're really excited. We're working to fill positions both on the staff and on the roster constantly, and I'm excited about what we're going to put together.
Coach, when it comes to recruiting, and so much has changed just over the last few years, and you look at what you have now, and you're working with 505 Sports Ventures, a little different resource there. How do you go about recruiting with the fact that NIL is such a big part of it these days?
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely part of the equation, and I think that's something that is a strength here and is going to allow us to put together really good teams. I think just in the last 24 hours, you can certainly feel the difference from just the conversations that we've had with potential recruits, agents, just everyone who's kind of involved in that process. There were multiple either players or agents that when we were doing the similar thing at UC San Diego last week, weren't necessarily, it's felt like, hey, this is a great style. We think it's a great fit. We just aren't aligned on the numbers. And that happens all the time. And that'll happen to us here as well. But this would, just yesterday, we had so many people reaching back out saying, oh, hey, if that's different, we love the style. We think this could be great. So I just think the level of interest you could feel right away as soon as the announcement was made. Some of the different players who we think could be pretty good are reciprocating interest, and you can feel the momentum already for us on that side of it, just in the conversations we're having.
You were a lot prettier. You were a lot prettier a few days later than you were a few days ago to these agents, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing how that happens. But I mean, we kind of have a process and how we want to go about it, and make sure we're making good decisions and betting on the right people, so to speak. So, yeah, I'm excited about what we're going to be able to put together.
Lobo basketball coach Eric Olin is with us on The Sports Animal.
Well, with that, Coach, I know you have a style, but how much of your style is adaptable to the type of talent that you can get to come to the University of New Mexico?
Yeah, I think it's important to be flexible in how you play, and we want to build schemes that fit our players, right? And we want to make sure that we're not so rigid in anything we're doing, either offensively or defensively, that a really good player can't help us, right? So if there's someone who we think is a good enough player, has the right mindset, is going to, contribute to winning at a high level, and their skill sets or strengths don't exactly align with the things that we normally do on the court, then that's our job as coaches to adjust that, right? To make sure that the players are in position to be successful and playing at a high level, and so we have core concepts that we believe in and will always be part of what we're doing, but we do want to be able to adapt and adjust to the players, because I very much believe this is about players. This is, players win games. I'm not someone who tries to overcoach every possession or call every play. We want to empower the players to go out and play their best. And I think there has to be a level of freedom, a level of creativity available to them in order to really play their best basketball.
So in that vein, and people who watch UCSD, I mean, you turn over, your pressure defense, I think you were 8th in the country in turnovers forced. But it sounds like you're going to fit your system to your personnel more so than you're going to make your personnel fit your system.
Yeah, we definitely want to do that, but that doesn't mean we won't be aggressive. I expect to have an aggressive defense and aggressive style, but just how we apply that could change a little bit based on the personnel. Our team last year at UC San Diego didn't have a ton of size in the front court, right. Didn't have a lot of rim protection. So where our aggressiveness came in certain areas of the floor because of where we brought help. We weren't waiting for guys to get to the rim and then, kind of being vertical as much or protecting the rim because that wasn't our strength. So we would attack the ball earlier, to the ball, and then we use those as opportunities to be aggressive. If we add a little more rim protection or we add a big that's a little better at some of those things, we're not going to ask guys who aren't as good at attacking the ball to go chase it everywhere. If they're better at, waiting for it and protecting the rim, we can have a different version of that. So it's not going to be like 180 degrees different stylistically. There's just subtle adjustments that can be made to make sure that when guys are going out on the floor with responsibilities on both sides, that they understand the assignment and that the assignment fits their skill set to where they can go out and be successful.
No, that makes sense. Eric, I don't know that there's a big difference. Basketball's basketball. One of the questions that our listeners have been asking today, okay, so you're recruiting an athlete. Look, UC San Diego is a very hard academic school. There's 154,000 applicants last year to get in. The academic rigors and getting student athletes in is tougher. And you're recruiting a different athlete maybe to the Big West than you would be to New Mexico. Is there a difference, or maybe you'd be able to answer this in a month from now, to recruiting to New Mexico as opposed to UC San Diego? Because some of our people are going, all right, can he recruit to this level? And I think the answer is absolutely yes. And you've got NIL that's going to certainly help with that. But how do you respond to that?
Yeah, and I mean, that's a fair question. And, I'm confident that we're going to be able to do that. And, if some fans want to reserve judgment and until we prove it, I don't mind that either. We got to go out and do our job. So, but I think in the new landscape here of college basketball, and I guess it's not as new. We've just been calling it the new landscape for several years now. Right. But I think some of those things in terms of recruiting at different levels are mitigated by the compensation involved and the more, professional model, for lack of a better word. And so I think it's really about how well you evaluate. Can you project players into roles and apply valuations to those players relative to the resources that you have available? I think that is the question, right? And that's something that I think we do really well, right? And that's part of how we've been able to have success with very little resources in that department, almost no resources in that department, and still create really good basketball teams by making smart evaluations, by understanding roster construction, by making sure our pieces are complementary to each other and that our team is greater than the sum of its parts. And I think if we continue to do those things with more resources, we have the chance to build really terrific basketball teams.
Obviously, in the Big West, the margin for error was slim to none with what you had in terms of having to get the automatic bid to get to the NCAA tournament. So you look at the Mountain West 2 years from now, and it's going to be a completely different conference from what it's going to be this season. How did you view that? How did you factor in what it was going to look like 2 years from now as opposed to today looking at this position?
Yeah, no, I certainly considered that. We talked about that. I think that, there's a lot to be determined with the next iteration of the Mountain West, but I think that, you could certainly look at it and see it as a potential one-bid league in and of itself after the realignment. But to me, it wasn't just about the Mountain West or the Big West or one bids or multiple bids. It was about the place, right? And, this is a special place with as good a support as there is in all of college basketball. The pit's not going anywhere. That environment's not going anywhere. And so it's less about how many bids or who's in the league. And to me, it's about how good a basketball team can we build? How great can that team play? What levels can we get to on the court? And all the things that come after that take care of themselves, whether that's an at-large bid or a conference tournament or whatever it is. My focus is much more on, well, can we build a great basketball team, than it is about all the results that come after, right? We're a little more process focused than that, and we'll put ourselves in the best position we can put ourselves in, and we'll live with the results from there.
Yeah.
But, I just want to be at a place like this where, the sky's the limit in terms of the kind of teams you can build, and then we'll let the results take care of themselves.
Yeah, I think that the program's in a good enough spot where you're going to get good enough non-conference that you're going to be able to build a resume. And then I'm of the belief that I think, Grand Canyon, Nevada, UNLV, there's going to be programs in this league that's going to make it a pretty good league. Eric Olin's with us just for a few more minutes, the new head coach. Remember when I rolled out of San Diego, I'd lived there 8 years, and I rolled out and thinking, what am I doing, man? Why am I leaving here? And I've been here 20-something years, and I've had a great life, and I love Albuquerque, New Mexico. Family ready for it? Do you surf? I'm going to guess 20-something years in San Diego, you've been in the water a few times, like whether it's Blacks, Tourmaline, wherever it is you go.
I've been in the water, but I don't surf. And that water's a little cold, honestly, for me. That's the thing for me. It's really, my family's really excited. My wife and daughters are fired up to get out there. And that was the important part. Because, it was easy for me to be all in right from the start because of what it means for me professionally and the opportunity that it presents on the court and on my side of things. So it was really more a conversation about them being comfortable, them being excited about something new. And they absolutely are. We're all excited to get out there. Family and community are something that are so important to us. And we really want to, dive in and just really engage and ingrain ourselves in the community, and we can't wait to get started.
Yeah, no, looking forward to seeing you out here. Hey, lastly, Jed, you got something else?
Well, just Coach, you look at, from Mobile, Alabama, what you were doing at Spring Hill. How did you end up at UC San Diego to get that opportunity where you were able to, build that resume that got you to this point?
Yeah, so I was fortunate. I think I got into coaching maybe the way a lot of people do, or at least used to, was the coach that I played for in college ended up in another place and kind of asked me to help him out and come out. I think a lot of us like to have former players on the staff who really understand what you're trying to do, have done it themselves. I think there's a lot of value in that. I think that's something we'll try to do when we build our staff is, potentially have someone who's played in the system to help guys learn. And, and so I was afforded that opportunity many years ago. And, it happened to be in San Diego. So, from Mobile, it was an easy choice to say, like, yeah, sure, I'll go to
Yes.
San Diego and see what this thing's like. And then, but I quickly learned or realized that, this was really for me just from a day-to-day, being in the gym, helping guys get better, continuing to kind of scratch that competitive itch in a way that you can't really do if you're not playing. And those are all things that I just felt like, no, this is what I want to do. This is, still outside of being a player, it's the next best thing in terms of being part of a team and being part of something bigger than yourself. Those are things that give me purpose every day. And, things that I was certainly looking for. And so early on in my coaching career, I realized that it was kind of my path.
Yeah. Recruiting the current roster. Have you even looked into that? Have you had any conversations? There's obviously guys who are in the portal. There's guys who are trying to figure out what's next. You've got some guys who are absolutely going to be gone. But as far as a lot of Lobo fans saying, hey, if they keep this guy and this guy and this guy, where are you in that regards, if anywhere?
Yeah, we're working through all of that. I'm hoping to continue to have. I've had some conversations. I'm hoping to continue to have conversations. We're excited to get to Albuquerque later today. And so I'm hoping to have some of those conversations in person, if possible. So. Yeah, that's all part of putting the roster together and kind of working through it, and we're doing it as quickly as we can. But there's a lot to do and a lot to get to, and we're just sort of trying to chip away at it each day.
All right, go to work. Appreciate you spending a few minutes with us. Looking forward to seeing you when you get here. Congratulations, Eric. Looking forward to having you part of the community, and I know Lobo fans pretty excited about it. Safe travels out here, and we'll shake your hand in person when you're here.
Can't wait, guys. Thanks for having me on. Look forward to doing it again.
Be well, and safe travels. He is Eric Olin. He is the new head basketball coach for Lobo men's basketball. Respond as you will. That seems like a pretty chill, pretty cerebral, pretty convicted guy who's got an idea of what he wants to do. And I've got a lot of thoughts coming out of that. I'm going to guess you do as well. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Bring it back.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gala Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone. leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66, built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games.
0610, quote, who cares if it's a one-bid league? James said. Jeff replied to Jess, Philly fans care. Just ask Lady Lobos what it's like to be in a league where you haven't had an at-large since 2010. Yeah. Well, people care if it's a one-bid league. Carl says, Lobo fans' loyalty, Jeff, if it's coach they like, Lobo fans don't want them to use the program as a stepping stone. They expect them to stay here 10 to 15 years. If it's someone like Craig Reed or Richie McKay, they want to be able to get rid of them at a snap of a finger with no buyout. Yeah, look, of course. You just heard Eric Olin. What do you think? What do you think? The one thing I forgot to ask him, doggone it, I wrote it down. I want to ask him, what does he think of all the praise, that everybody's just heaping on him on social media? You know what I mean? Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. I meant to ask him that. But, I mean, what's he supposed to say, right? Oh, it's nice, but, Matt says, Jeff, in a profession full of egomaniacs, this man seems smart, humble, and down to earth. I get the appeal. And his record speaks for itself. He basically admitted they had almost no NIL funding at UC San Diego. So with that, they beat Utah State on the road, won their conference, and gave Michigan all they can handle. Given that, I'm sure he's extremely competent and confident in his ability to move this thing forward with good NIL resources and amazing fan support. I'm all in on Olin. You. All right. See? John says, Jeff, JJ, thanks for the interview with head coach Eric Olin. He's the 23rd coach for the UNM Lobos basketball team. Sounds focused and ready to get UNM on another winning streak. Only time will tell. It's from John. This one says, let the guy go back to sleep. He may have a busy day ahead of him. He has no idea what he's stepping into. Is that the same number? It is. He said he probably hadn't had a cup of coffee. His energy is disappointing. Hopefully he's not already overwhelmed with the media attention. Can you guys ask Olin, coming from great quality of life, being San Diego, Del Mar, et cetera, what about Albuquerque and UNM? Said I want to go there. We pretty much asked him that, right? Look, man.
Fan-based basketball opportunity. Sorry he wasn't like, and then we're going to Santa Fe, and we're going to Raton, and then we're going to Gallup. Yeah! Like you wanted, like he kind of sounded San Diego La Jolla chill, didn't he? This one says, not the most flamboyant interview from a coach, but again, it's 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. First interview starting to get rolling. I care more about can you bring in players with Kurt. Clearly, I think the guy can coach. You guys, really? So he wasn't rah-rah enough for you? Is that what I'm hearing? Like he didn't put on, like if that's who the dude is, if he's chill, and it sounds like he is and everything. All right. If that's what you got. I mean, I always tell you, what you get out of it, and I'm not going to get mad at you. I mean, get out what you get out. That's just not what I heard a guy who was pretty relaxed and confident.
Yeah, that's right. But pretty sure of what he was saying and not just going to spew promises and yeah. Like, give me that all day. Ken, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Ken.
Hey, guys. Yeah, it's really quite a thing to just kind of block out everybody's opinion because everybody's got different opinions. I thought initially I thought Kennedy and Olin can both coach. The one advantage I had to Kennedy was his recruiting. He had a lot of 4 stars, 3 stars, and then he had a lot of transfers that he beat out. He got one kid out of North Carolina, one kid out of Arkansas, one kid out of Ole Miss. Yeah. Kennedy did. So I kind of had, my favorite, just a teeny bit, Kennedy. Now, if Olin can recruit, and that was my only question, can he recruit at that high level? We're going to see because he hasn't done that at San Diego yet. But I am really impressed with him. I saw the Jeff Grammer podcast last night. I mean, this poor guy has been up, for hours now. Yeah. And so he's just trying to get all the media things in and things like that. But I love the Jeff Grammer. If somebody just listened to your interview go to Jeff Grammer and listen to his on the podcast. The energy was definitely there, and you could see his facial expressions. You could see his smiling. You could see a different kind of metrics to what he is bringing to the Lobos, because you can actually see his face when he's saying these things. He's fantastic. I love his energy. Now, again, a fair question. It's very fair. Can he recruit the Donovan Dents, the true Washington?
Yeah, pretty much asked him that, right?
Of the world.
Yeah, we asked him that.
That's a fair question.
Yeah, and we asked him that.
You know. Yeah, and I'm so sorry, guys. I missed that. And if you could just maybe repeat that for me, and I'll hang up. And great show, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we asked him. I mean, you know, you've been recruiting at a different level, certainly high academic standards. Now you've got, you've got at UNM, you've got a different recruiting base, and can you recruit a different athlete, certainly with the NIL, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I can pull, but paraphrasing, he said the agents' conversations are much different from last week till yesterday afternoon. When you're like, oh, you're where now, and you have what available?
You're a lot prettier now.
Yeah, and again, and we've been discussing it. It's something I brought up. There's a reason why this pool of potential candidates was larger. Like, it wasn't like, all right, you had to be in a power conference X amount of time. You have to know this. You have to know that. Of course, he's going to be able to recruit 4 stars into the transfer portal because he has NIL behind him. That changes the game for everyone. He wasn't able to do that. CSD because he didn't have it. And now he has it here, and he's going to be able to have those conversations.
Yep. This dude's been a lot. He said he didn't care too much for the cold ocean water of San Diego. Hopefully he'll take to the hot water in the fishbowl that is Lobo basketball. Grammer better than Symbieta. Okay. Look, man, I'm good. Jeff's really good.
What a weird thing that was this past week.
What's that?
Like a battle. We're partners with the Journal and stuff. So.
Whatever, man. You like what you like, and you can only ask the questions, right? I'm not competing with Jeff, man.
New hashtag for him. I'll let him know.
What's that?
Hashtag Grammer better than Symbieta.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sports@WBQ.com and JJ at sports@WBQ.com. You just heard from Eric Olin. What do you think? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Fakes right, turns left again, turns right, flips it up and in!
Fadeaway corner 3.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I kind of like the San Diego chill a little bit. I do. I don't need a guy rah-rah making promises. And I actually thought what he said was pretty thought out. And I thought his answer to the recruiting question was, yeah, I mean, we're having different conversations with agents now than we did a couple days ago, right? Guys who were recruiting that thought it would be a good fit, that just the numbers is what he said, right? The numbers didn't match. Now all of a sudden they're saying, hey, on second thought, let's have a talk. Yeah. It's amazing how that works, huh? JT, good morning. Thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Good morning.
What's up, Jeff?
How you living, man?
I was enjoying my Sunday, anticipating my Monday, listening to, I knew you guys were going to have the new coach. And then, you know, once again, we have delusional idiots, crab in the bucket, fans that we have that, you know, they never call, they never support the team. You still read their idiotic emails and texts. You know, I'm sorry I had to go off like this, but, you know, I'm sick of these people. Anyway, I'm happy with the coach. I figured if, you know, we're going to get a coach that say he went out and he, you know, got his money and then now all he wants to do is coach because he has plenty of money. I wanted Alford, you know, but if we were going to get a new guy, I already studied my teams that made the NCAA tournament for the first time or maybe a small program. And my mind was on this guy. This is who I wanted. So Lobo went with the new guy, you know, and all these fans, oh, can he do this? Can he do that? Can the coach at Kentucky recruit yet?
I think so. You think
he can recruit? Okay, it's not recruiting anymore. People need to understand it's money. Okay, yeah, you got to recruit a little bit, maybe you know this and that. But Donovan Dent didn't go to Kentucky. Okay, he went with the money. I'm sure Kentucky had money, but you know what I'm saying? It's not recruiting like in the old days. Okay, everything's different. That's why we got general managers now. Okay, in college. So you know these negative people. Oh, can you recruit? He's going to have a lot more in a treasure chest. Okay, yep. So obviously he's been coaching for a long time. You know, give the guy a chance. All these, oh, can he do this? Can he do that? I don't know. Nobody knows.
We'll find out.
But damn, man, this crab in the bucket I'm sick and tired of these.
I think for the most part, it's been pretty positive. I think for the most part, people are pretty excited about it, JT. And I appreciate the call, man. Thanks. I think for the most part, people are, I mean, I don't know, JT, what you're hearing. I mean, there's a few that are skeptical, and it's not your dude.
You're asking the questions, you know, if someone hasn't done this, can they do that? And as was just laid out there, and it's what we've been discussing, absolutely you're going to be able to have different conversations and be in I wouldn't say rooms, but on the phones of agents and stuff now when it comes to, we're where? And they got a pretty good collective. Okay. So we got.
Dude says, at least JS is reading my text. Yeah, I'm not shying away from it. You can take your shot at me. I'm not going to shy away from anything. Mud says, welcome, Coach O. We're in good hands, and I think he has the resources he didn't have. NIL will make this coach a winner. Patino at Minnesota didn't have the resources. That's why he got fired. But here he was new king in the pit. Go Lobos. P.S. Coach Eck doing it on the football side. Well, we'll see, man. Todd says Kurt Roth is the new face of Lobo Athletics, Jeff. When something with Lobo Athletics popped, the media always put him like, I got it, man. Did you send me this the other day? Now Kurt Roth has become the face. When the media wanted to know about Olin, it was Roth on the tube, not Stokes or Lobo. I find that creepy, says Todd. Okay. Scott, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Jeff. Just curious. So I did read all the stuff about it last night and the job he did at UC San Diego, and so it looks good. But I'm curious, where's the portal at now that it's been open for a week? How many of the top players are already gone? Is there a way to tell that?
A few. I mean, the portal's got like 15 or 1,800 players in it. Guys are going in every day. I don't know that you're too. Well, I know you're not too late. You're going to be able to put a roster together. You're not too late. And guys are, constantly going in. Donovan Dent found a spot, and good for him. The very top guy in the portal. But JJ, I mean, if you look through there's players, and there's going to be guys names that are going to pop up on Twitter, and guys who are going to commit. And you're going to go, wow, who's that? And then you go, oh, he's a stud. There's plenty of players in there, and plenty of really good players. Scott, if your question is, are you too late? I think the answer is no, you're not too late.
Okay, that sounds good. That was the only thing I was concerned about.
Yeah.
So thanks.
All right, man. Yeah, I mean, I know the clock has been ticking, and you're like, okay, can we recruit this guy? Can we recruit that guy? I think probably, and I asked Eric specifically about this, recruiting your own roster, right? He's going to be in town later today. Is he talked to guys on the roster? He didn't talk specifically about any individual player, but yeah, I'm going to guess there's guys that were here that he's going to try to keep here first. And I promise you that there's a list, and even though he hasn't announced a staff, he might have a staff pretty much put together in mind. I don't know. That they've got guys that they're in contact with, and I promise you the reputation that this dude has, and the agents that he was talking to, there's going to be players that want to play at New Mexico for Eric Olin.
Absolutely, and you weren't going to be in the conversation with, say, the top 10 portal guys anyway. You're not. Especially if you're looking at $2+ million.
That's right.
To land some of these guys. So you didn't miss out on anything. Can you get in the conversation with some of the guys in the back end? Probably. But again, it's not too late. There's plenty of dudes out there. You run down the list, right? And the top guy out there outside of Donovan Dent, well, he followed his coach to Iowa, so you're never going to be in that conversation or things like that. So there's plenty of players available. You have good players that can come back, especially with True Washington and Phillip that entered the transfer portal last week. There's guys you want back in your roster, Brandon Alpons, et cetera, just to have dudes and then go get the best talent you can.
Text line, I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding with the recruiting thing. It'll take time for folks to understand that old school grassroots connection-based recruiting is over. It's free agency now. Having money doesn't guarantee winning. But not having money does guarantee losing. And there's probably that. It's why Kevin Willard's probably leaving Maryland to go to Villanova, right? That's why you're watching, it's funny, Buzz Williams may leave Texas A&M to go to Maryland, which, it is what it is. Is it different? Yes. Eric just said something that was really funny, which I think is right. He said, we keep referring it to the new era of college basketball. And he's like, yeah, it's been this way for a while now. At some point, it's not new anymore. It is what it is
now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All right, we'll wrap it when we get back. Still have time for you to get in at 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
The Yeller Sub, located on 7200 Montgomery Boulevard, serves breakfast all day long along with classic hot and cold subs. Don't forget about our shakes, malts and floats made with your favorite Bluebell ice cream. 45 years and still going strong. Come on down to the Yeller Sub, official sandwich of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Sweet Rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal, to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports.
Monday morning, the final day of March, final day of the first quarter of the year. That's right. Let that sink in for a minute. New Lobo coach for the basketball side, the men's basketball team, Eric Olin, was with us. You can react to it. I don't know if this is just shtick or if he believes this, JJ. Bourne said, what about the freshmen, Jeffrey? What about building a program? All I heard was trying to catch lightning in a bottle with a bunch of mercenaries.
What about it? You bring a couple in, see if you develop them, see if they stick around. If not, they go in the portal, and you do as well.
Yeah, because they're going to go to, I don't know, man. If you don't think you're going to, Bourne, I asked you this question with all seriousness. So let's just say you brought in 4 freshmen that you really liked. And let's say they stud for you. What do you think is going to happen next year and the year after? Just asking. How do you build a program now? It's not like it was. We'll build a program. All right, we're going to have this guy for 4 years. Are you? Are you? Like Donovan Dent? Is that what you're going to do? Now, you had him for 3. The fact that you had Donovan Dent for 3 years, I think, is spectacular. Something to celebrate. Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Jeffrey.
Hey, what's up, man? JJ was telling me we got a bunch of busters calling in already.
You got both sides, man. I think the negative always pulls more weight in people's ears, but I think there had been way more support than there has been the other side of it.
The guy's not excited enough after probably being awake for 36 straight hours and doesn't present with enough energy on a radio show where we can't see his face and we don't even really know him. So we need to bring Craig Neal back and recruit nothing but New Mexico kids.
And make promises, and you need all that, yeah.
Okay, just checking. Yeah. So anyway, as far as the recruiting thing goes, look, this guy was coaching at a school that had super high admission requirements and not a lot of money to pay out, and yet he was able to recruit to that school for that talent level and do really well. So something tells me that when you raise him up a level, he's probably going to do pretty good here. I mean, he had that guy that looked like Kip from Napoleon Dynamite just dropping bombs on Michigan and almost beat them. So I think we're going to be okay, and at the very least, let's suspend judgment until we let the guy coach some games. You know what I mean?
Yep, I do. He's going to be just fine. And by the way, everybody, well, not everybody, so many respected basketball people just sing this guy's praises. So I'm going to listen a little bit.
I didn't know a lot about him, but he was my favorite once the coaching search started. I did the same thing. I read a lot, and everybody who's been around him, coached above him or coached below him, says the guy's brilliant, says he's young, one of the most talented up-and-comers. His players love to play for him. And so, what else do we want? I mean, just what else do we want? Let's let the guy come in here, do his thing. The only thing we forgot to tell him is drink a bunch of water, bro, because you're coming up in elevation, and it's dry as hell here. This is not beachside.
And lotion. Yeah. All right, man.
Later.
Yeah. Moisturize and water. Hey, guys, great show. This is on the text line. Hey, guys, great show. Just listening to Coach's interview, I thought he was great. Honestly, a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't going to renew my tickets. I was done with college sports. Less for the Lobos, more college sports and NIL, just ruining sports. Listening to the interview, I really liked this coach. Nothing seemed scripted at all. It felt like having a conversation with another human being at a bar or something. The guy's answers were real and seemed straight from the heart. The thing I liked the most was he said, I'm not worried about conference realignment. None of that. I'm worried about putting the best product on the court and winning that right there. Sold me as a Lobo fan. Great interview, guys. Thank you, Coach, for picking New Mexico. I'm excited again for Lobo basketball. That's on the text line. Robert, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Robert.
Yeah, I think that was the right choice rather than go for somebody local. He kind of cut the ties and decided to go for this guy. He seems like a very intelligent person. Just listening to him, he seems like he's dedicated and he's interested in winning ball games. I'm still having trouble with Donovan Dent getting $2.5 or $3 million to go to UCLA. I really don't think he's worth the money. He's going to be making more than some NBA ball players. So I think that's a little bit much for him to be paid. In that second game, he didn't do that well. I think if you put a big guard on him, he won't penetrate, and he just won't be the player that he is in college if he goes to the NBA. And besides that, he can't hit a three-pointer consistently. That's the flawed part of his ball game. He's just to play in the NBA as a small guard like that, you've got to be able to hit a long shot, and he can't do that. So I don't know. I think it's come down to, well, it's not college basketball anymore. It's college professional basketball. But like you say, it is what it is, and we have to learn to accept it.
Or it's not your thing. Yeah. But good for Donnie for getting what he got. And is this his biggest payday he'll ever get? Maybe. I don't know. And if everything that last caller just said is true, then good for him for getting his bag right now. Right? If you're telling me he's not going to make it in the NBA, if he can't shoot well enough, if he's whatever you think, then good for him for going to get his bag right now.
And that's like nothing people are saying is shocking. Like he struggles shooting from the outside. Okay, he's going to have different players around him too. At UCLA, he's probably surrounded by better outside shooters. So when you break someone down off the dribble, they don't have 8 dudes they're throwing at him in the lane.
Text line, Lobos don't have the monies to recruit the top transfers in the portal. Olin probably has never had a conversation with players' agents prior to yesterday. That's not right. Prep recruiting is still about contacts. Olin might consider bringing Brandon Mason on staff. He has paid his penance. Okay. Good stuff today. Thanks to Eric Olin for being with us. Forrest Stolting was with us from the Ice Clips as well. We're back tomorrow morning. If you missed the interview with Eric Olin and want to catch it again, it's over on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, and it'll be there. The Herd with Colin Coward's next. Jim Rome shows after that. 2 Men On's in at 4, and we're back tomorrow morning with award-winning radio starting at 7 a.m. Adrian, great stuff. Keeping up. He's JJ Buck. I'm Jeff Symbieta. Big day for you.
Huge day.
Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of